Whoa! I wish this thing would kind of beep or something when you're actually live. I get distracted and I'll watch the countdown sometimes. But hello, folks. Facebook people, YouTube people, all you people. It's good to be back with everybody. Yeah, hopefully somebody will join us here. It's a Saturday afternoon here in semi-sunny Sharksburg. The sun pokes out every now and again. But, you know, oh, there it is, folks. There it is. My refrigerator magnet business card. If you want one of those, hey, just drop me a PM or say something in the comment section. Give me an address. I'll send you one free of charge. You can't beat free, folks. Totally free. I don't even want your credit card numbers or none of that kind of mess. And I've sent some of those out of state. So wherever you are, if you want one, let me know. But we did a couple videos the other day. You saw where I was rinseless washing. Oh, let me grab my all-important pointer. Yeah, well, we rinseless washed the roof, the hood, removed some of the surface contaminants, and we talked about some of that, the rinseless washing and so forth and so on. Yeah, we got that, and then I went ahead after that video. I rinseless washed the entire rest of the vehicle except for the wheels and tires. I'll get back to them later. And then, as luck would have it, bad luck, I had to go to the grocery store yesterday. I mean, folks, I had to go. And you know what? It was pouring down rain. So you know what that means. Pretty much kind of starting all over again. Well, you know, that's the way it goes. So what I did earlier was just rinseless wash the hood down again and then dried it off with a high quality drying towel, a smaller one. You know, so at least I won't get any further contamination or problems than what I had already. It's because I washed all that stuff off earlier today. And I used my dryer and I dried the rest of the car off with my heated and filtered car dryer, which I got off of Amazon. Yeah, but, you know, a lot of folks, I want to talk about the rain for just a minute. A lot of people don't really worry about rainwater on their cars too much because they figure rainwater is maybe a step above distilled water in its purity. And to a certain extent, they would be correct. When it first forms the droplets up in the atmosphere and begins to fall, that is the case. But as it works its way down through our atmosphere, it picks up many contaminants, industrial fallout, all kinds of stuff, and then it lands on your car. And a lot of that contamination stuff is dry, which if it just landed on your car and it was blown off, that would not be a problem. But so much of that stuff is acidic and what have you, and some of it is somewhat abrasive, like pine pollen, for example. If you ever look at a piece of pine pollen, a microscopic photo of it, they look like little barbs. So they can be abrasive, but they mix, all that stuff mixes with the water, lands on your paint, and it contains all that stuff. And the water oftentimes will reactivate the acidic and damaging nature of whatever contaminants it picked up coming down through the atmosphere. Then it dries, leaving behind those harmful elements on your paint. And that's where, I don't know if y'all can pick it up, I've got a lot of what I call chemical etching in this paint. I don't know if y'all can really see it, but that's all chemical etching from water and other stuff. So you not only do you have that, But then, you know, you get all the water puddles and the rainwater on the roadway. You're driving down the road and splashing it up on your car, your tires, your wheels, side of your car. Some of it splashes up on the hood, the roof, the glass, all that sort of stuff, all over your car, really. The problem with that is initially on the roadway, parking lots and that sort of thing, you have ground up brake dust, you have dried up or gooey brake fluid, oil from cars, transmission fluid. You get the picture. And once again, when the roads are wet like that, all that stuff mixes up with the water, it splashes up on your car. You get the same effect that I was describing to you about the fallout in the air earlier. And if you get it off quickly, it sometimes is not a real problem, but most of us don't, because, you know, real life gets in the way. I understand that. But the longer it stays, the more damage it does, sometimes to the point where you cannot fix the damage if it becomes embedded too deep into your clear coat. We've discussed that many times. Okay. I will. I wasn't sure anybody was left these days that wanted to see this. But there you go. There I am, sporting my wolf hat, my new do. Oh boy, I don't know how to do this without the phone getting in the way. I guess there is a way. Put it over to the side like that, I reckon. I don't know. I don't know much about photography, but that's enough of me. But what I've done here is, as you can see, I've taped off a test area. And what I'm going to do today is I am going to use my clay bar. This particular brand is Clay Magic. It's a fine grade. I'll clay bar this area and see how much of those contaminants. I pretty much know what to expect, but for demonstrative purposes, I will clay bar it and see how much improvement we get. Oh boy. And as you can see, I've got me a very nice soft plush microfiber towel there if I need it. I've got a lower pile one over here, which is still a high quality for what I call a application wipe off towel. And I've got my quick detail mixed up into 360 Mr. Bottle, which we talked about yesterday. Give you another look at how that works. Look how fine a mist that is. I will spray that down for lubrication for the clay bar. And that's the thing about any quick detail. This particular quick detail is this product here. I've showed it to you before. Optimum no rinse, diluted down to the quick detail dilution ratio. Let's see, where is it? It's directions. As a clay bar, lube 2 ounces to a gallon of water. So you're not using a whole lot of that. And I'm going to use this stuff up. And it has what they call surfactants in it, which is a fancy word for saying chemicals. What it does is encapsulate the dirt and things of that nature and lifts it off the surface, so they tell me. And it also has lubricants in there so that you have enough lubrosity on the paint when you're using this clay bar, which you will wipe across it, and I'll show you that for those of you who have not seen it done before, so that you minimize the marring of the paint when you're using the clay bar. Very important, because clay bar is abrasive and it will slightly mar your paint. So if I were you guys, I would not clay bar unless I was going to be following up with at least a 1-step correction with a buffer or something of that nature, which is the plan here, so I'm not overly worried about it. But after I use that up, I've got a new one here from one of my favorite companies. This is a rinseless wash concentrate, and I have mess with it a little bit. It's basically the same thing as the O and R, except I've noted that it does have a little bit more lubrosity than the O and R. So I'm not sure it's a huge difference. And then there's another company I'm going to try next, but I'll play with this today. It doesn't really matter. I want to use the O and R up, so I might as well use it up on this car. But I'm going to just kind of try my best here. For those of you who have not seen it done, how I clay bar. Let's see if I can get this. Sorry for the shaky stuff, folks. I'm trying to get this thing set here. Where y'all can see what's going on over at the car. There we go. Clay barring is not rocket science. It is not difficult to do. It's really not all that time consuming. Very simple. And what clay bar does is, like I said, it's kind of abrasive. It's sticky. That's one reason I wear gloves when I'm doing it. It doesn't seem to want to stick to the gloves like it does my skin. But what clay bar does, you take it, you knead it, and you get you a nice flat, clean spot like this. And as you rub it across the paint, it'll pick up contaminants and get dirty. And then you just knead it till you get another clean spot. When you can't get another clean spot anymore, time to toss it and get a new piece. And most of the time, these bars come in a size that you can basically tear them in half. You don't need the entire one. And the clay bar goes across the surface of the paint and it pulls some of those contaminants off, and it shears the ones that are bonded a lot of times, so that at least you're down even to where they may be down in the clear coat. I'm not sure how much it will pull out of an embedded contaminant, but this is really the only practical way to do this step. Yeah, you could go straight to polishing, buffing, whatever you want to call it, but all that stuff will junk up your pads very quickly, and you'll be changing pads every minute. But like I say, this is not difficult to do. Once again, we'll just take our little spray bottle here. I'll make sure I've got a good amount of lubrosity on here. You don't have to go too crazy with it, and I like to use my 360 for this application most of the time because I get good, even coverage. And you know what? All you do is just enough pressure to hold it on the paint, and you just rub it back and forth. And it starts off, you'll feel it's kind of rough. You'll feel the rough spots while you're going across the paint, and then as you remove those contaminants, it will get very slicky and you won't feel any resistance hardly. And that means you've removed the contaminants for the most part that the clay bar will remove. And I can tell by looking, because I've got good light here, I know y'all can't see it, it's removing a lot of it, but not all of it. And bear in mind, this is the fine grade, so if I'm not happy with these results, what I will do is go get a piece of aggressive grade and see if that does any better. And what I'll do now is take this wipe off towel and just check my work here. Wipe that down a little bit, just enough where I can see what I've got. Yeah, and it's removed some, but like there's one that's embedded down into the clear coat. I can visibly see that from here. I know y'all can't see it from where you're at, but you know, just doing this to your vehicle will improve it dramatically as far as its gloss and shine goes, because what makes your paint shine is how flat it is. And you get all this stuff on it, in it, that breaks the light up the way it refracts back at your eyes and makes it look not shiny. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this paint. Well, it's been sitting outside for a couple months, and that's okay. It makes it fun to play with. Like I say, this needs repainting badly, but I just want to see what kind of an improvement I can make in it. So, and I'm not altogether very happy with that. So I'm going to cut this video off and I'm going to go get some aggressive clay bar, and maybe I'll come back here in a few minutes so that you guys can see what's going on here. But I think you can see just that claying made a difference. I'm trying to pick it up in the camera for y'all. I don't know if I'm being successful or not, because a videographer and camera person I am not. But, you know, for most people, just doing that with the mild or fine grade, some of them call it, and some companies have 3 grades. They have the fine and the medium and aggressive. I've pretty much found that the medium, I don't need that. So I try to keep 2, the fine and the aggressive. So I'm going to go get some aggressive clay bar and see if just by clay barring this, I can improve it even more than I have already. And because you always want to try the least aggressive methods first. All right. And I already knew going in, there was some of that stuff any clay bar was not going to get rid of, but I wanted to get rid of as much as possible before I break out my buffer, because I need to remove the ceramic coating anyway, and about the only way to do that is with a buffer, because I have to redo the optimum clear coat which is on this paint so that I can redo that. I don't have to, well, I need to remove the coating for that, but I don't have to remove the coating of the clear coat that's on there. I just have to rough it up with a compound and then reapply it. So but the point is, it has to be buffed anyway. And this hood is more of an experiment than anything else. So I'll be doing that. Hey, you know what, folks? Like, share, follow, all that stuff. And if you feel up to it and you're watching, you know, hey, make me a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. I'm always curious about that, because this thing tells me how many people are watching, but it, for the most part, doesn't tell me who they are. So it's hard to know. So throw me a comment down there, ask a question in the comments, or shoot me a PM if you have a question about any of this, these products or this procedure that I'm talking about today. And folks, most of what I'm doing to this hood, or a lot of what I'm doing to this hood, really won't apply to many of you, because this is cheap, terrible paint job. And this is Mako. I'm not sure about that. This looks like a backyard paint job. So, you know, how you treat your paint might be somewhat different than how I'm doing this paint. And, you know, you basically do OEM paint a little differently than you do a repaint from a body shop, because it's different. Okay, guys, I do appreciate you folks. Stand by. I might be back in a little while with the results of our aggressive clay bar. We'll try to get in here and take a better look at what we've got. Some of that's just streaking from where I didn't dry the quick detail off very good, but you can see some of those deeper bonded and embedded contaminants if you look real closely, like some right there that did not come off. We'll see what the aggressive grade does, just for kicks. All right, thank y'all very much. I appreciate you. Goodbye now.